Bada bing, bada boom. Social Inform Media.
This story comes to us from Fox5Atlanta.com. Out of Georgia. Georgia, sweet Georgia, I've got Georgia on my mind. Thank you, Willie Nelson. We're going to Buchanan, Georgia, where an outside investigation confirmed Buchanan Mayor A.J. Scott abused his authority by repeatedly demanding police give him rides because he was too drunk to drive. Isn't A.J. Scott, that sounds so familiar. Or I've done editorial on that mayor before. I forget where. But despite those findings, the 4-member city council took no action regarding Scott's status as mayor. Took no action. The retired Marine is also a former state trooper who still faces vehicular homicide charges because he crashed his patrol unit into a car full of teenagers nearly 8 years ago, killing 2 young girls. I did do the editorial on this. In fact, I think it was the aunt that contacted me and said what a dirtbag he was. He vehicular homicide, and then they elect him as mayor. I don't know what's going on in Buchanan. But I remember doing the editorial on this one. The criminal case ended in a mistrial and can't be retried until the Georgia Supreme Court gives the okay. So those 2 young teenage girls get no justice. Rome Police Captain Mark Tyson was hired by the city of Buchanan in November to investigate allegations involving the mayor. The 31-page report is filled with disturbing allegations, many of which Tyson said were confirmed or likely to have happened. A.J. Scott admitted repeatedly he called Buchanan police to give him a ride home when he had too much to drink, including an officer forced to drive outside the city to a Bremen restaurant. Hey, I'm the mayor. You give me a ride or I'm going to fire your ass. I don't know if he said that, but kind of sounds like he was dictating, right? According to the report, Scott himself admitted he had 8 to 9 old fashions during his estimated 6 hours there, with 2 witnesses saying the mayor got in the bar and unzipped his pants and pretended to, as the police officer tried to get him to leave. Pretended to what? That's all it says. He pretended to. Pretended to what? Up on the bar. Zip. Leave your coat on the couch. Or what does that song go? Guys, what else are we going to do? It's like Tommy Lee Jones said in No Country for Old Men.
Oh, that's all right. I laugh myself sometimes. Ain't a whole lot else you can do.
Scott denied that he got on the bar, but he did admit to drinking too much and was loud, obnoxious, and acted like a fool. Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants unzipped. And it goes down from there. I mean, you guys can read it. I'll put a link to it in the description box. Kelly Lindsay and Leslie Woods. They talk about they were the mothers who lost their daughters in that accident. And one of them, I forget which one, commented on that editorial I did. I feel for these 2 women. And I really do. I've never met them. But as a human being, I can't imagine losing a child to especially a law enforcement officer, in a possible homicide situation, vehicular manslaughter, and then the guy becomes mayor, and then they say, well, we can't try him. The Supreme Court has to give us the okay. I can't imagine that. I can't wrap my head around it. These 2 women deserve our prayers, but you know what? A.J. Scott, from what I understand, you're a real dirtbag. And you're the mayor of Buchanan. If I lived in Buchanan, I'd move out. And quickly.